Let's go!
What's up? How's it going, everybody?
Alright, welcome to SNM Sportz.
Good evening, how y'all doing? Good afternoon, good morning, whichever one it is for you.
Yeah.
Glad that you're joining us. Appreciate that so much. Thank you. All right, well, as we do in every show, well, actually, it's our first show, so you know what we do in every show.
We will do in every show.
Is we will sponsor an alcohol company or two. So in this case, our alcohol sponsor is today. Mine is Guinness, of course, my favorite beer.
Huh. Mine will be Sam Adams, that good old summer ale.
Good old Boston. It's good old Boston company. We appreciate Sam Adams and Guinness for supplying us beer. Well,
cheers.
For us buying your beer. All right. Well, great, folks. Let's jump right into it as we do every week. We get into my thoughts for the week. Michael, G
Money.
So, we live in Los Angeles, right? And a lot's been going on with free agency in the NBA. And of course, everybody is talking about LeBron. But I have a bit of a different take on what's going on with LeBron James and being out here. First of all, I think everyone should understand that this man is a family man first and foremost. And this decision that he made, I felt, was completely about his family and his future after sports. And there is no better athlete to be a tutelage under that has been more successful after their sporting life than Magic Johnson. So best believe he's coming here to win rings for this town, and we're excited that he's here because the town is buzzing. Everybody's excited that LeBron James, well, most folks are excited LeBron James is a Laker now. But I gotta say, I'm happy to have him here as a man of his family. He's married his high school sweetheart. He takes care of his kids, everything he needs to do, and that kind of stuff is talked about. Just like he sent 1,300 kids to school. That's right, he paid us scholarships for 1,300 children. You don't hear about that kind of stuff. That's why I'm excited to get a man like that of class back in that purple and golds. And that is my thought for the week.
Thank you, G.
All right. I need this.
Yeah, cheers
all right.
on that.
Cheers on that. All right. So we're big proponents of Twitter. We love being on that more than any social media, even though we are on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us there. But Twitter by far is where we love to play around the most. I'd like to bring you the most interesting thing we saw on Twitter this past week. And so this week, it actually comes from Enes Kanter, center for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, that awesome team over there.
I know, right? So Enes wrote, Adam Silver has agreed to a mid-level extension with the Golden States. League sources tell me. And he did us a favor. He didn't just give us that. He gave us his awesome picture of the player himself. Yep, that's right, folks. There he is.
Is that Enes Kanter without hair? Oh my goodness.
It's kind of scary, isn't it? But lovely at the same time, right? So we appreciate you. We want you to keep tweeting. And if you want us to feature your tweet on our show, all you got to do is tweet us and tag us at SNM Sportz. Because, hey, we want to make fun of your tweet, too.
Yeah. We're good at that thing.
Post that stuff. All right, moving on. So we got studs and duds for the week. Who got it up? And, well, who needs Viagra?
All right, Mike.
Oh, man, so our first one, stud for the week. Trevor Ariza of the Phoenix Suns. Twofold, what happened is Ariza walked away, and I'm not quite sure, from the Houston Rockets, who really was the perennial team to step in and beat Golden State, right?
I agree. I'm not sure why he moved to Phoenix of all teams, but...
But then Booker signs a long-term deal. Ayton, the first-round pick, is in the fold, and he's playing right now in the Summer League and playing very well, might I add. So I understand from a perspective, from a basketball perspective, if you want to shine a bit more, but I think in Ariza's his point in his career, I feel like he should almost be title chasing more than anything, and going to Phoenix, so I feel is next year or last year's Philadelphia this coming year. as far as where they're at and where they're going to be.
They're the Philly of the West
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Definitely. And so, he makes him more of a contender, and that's great because he's valuable. I'm surprised that he just didn't stick around with Houston. Of course, I'm sitting on the couch talking about sports, and he's playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
So,
And making millions.
yes, and we're helping him along.
Right.
All right. Oh, yeah. Now, who needs Viagra? All right.
Paul George Barber, huh?
Yep. So we all know Paul George signed back with Oklahoma.
Yeah, and hey, who can blame him? He felt wanted there, and more power to the guy.
Hey, and if they can win rings there, that's great.
Yeah.
But
if the Lakers really wanted him last year, they would have made it a point to give him. Right?
And that's what we've been saying the whole time. So nothing's a done deal, right? Until things are inked. So that's for sure. So they lost out. The worst part about this is that Westbrook throws a show, or throws a party, has Nas perform at the party, so that Paul George can announce that he's staying in OKC. And what does Paul George's barber do? He gets on social media, and he does this cryptic tweet with a picture of him and Paul George saying, OKC, you're in for some great news later on. I know I'm misquoting, but basically gave away the fact this man was going to sign a long-term extension.
Blew the news.
Man, so he needs to figure out how to get it up in other ways. All right. Oh, man. So my favorite one of the stuff of the week. So Otana, we all know, love him if we're out in L.A. And the frenzy or the hype around him is real. He's an amazing ball player on both sides. He can pitch. He can hit. And obviously not pitching right now because of issues where he's going to not pitch anymore and just do DH and maybe place him in the field. So the night he was playing against the Dodgers, he got on base, stole second, got an error to third, made it home on the next play, and then later on, he was the winning run on an RBI single from another player. So this man was not solely responsible for, but had a stud-type night where he came home across the plate twice to basically give the Angels the winning runs for that game. And so I got to give it up for him. So I'm gonna
the Asian Babe Ruth right there.
And then Brazil, man. So Brazil, they didn't do very well. Well, no, they did okay, but they didn't do what they were expected to do, which was to play for the cup, let alone win it. But they ended up going out in the round of 16, which is completely unheard of for that team.
Right.
I mean, to be knocked out that early.
Brazil is like perennial every year in the finals. It seems like. I swear they won it every year since I was born.
It seems like that, right? It's like the Patriots of football.
Yeah.
And for them to go out this early, but I ended up watching the game and they just got outplayed. I mean, flat out got outplayed and didn't deserve to move on, and so they didn't. And at the stage that they're on, and that late in the tournament, there are no weak teams out there, and so you got to come with your best, even if you are Brazil, because we'll get to it later. The other teams that are still in it because of their swagger, and Scottie will talk about that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But who else got it up for the week? Number 3. So did anybody do the Neymar challenge? I don't know if you saw this, guys.
No, I didn't.
Oh, man. So there's been a lot of complaints out there on Twitter during the World Cup and now that he's gone about his overacting when he gets hurt. And so I've seen videos of entire soccer fields of about 100 kids when all of a sudden the guy will scream out Neymar and they'll all fall down rolling around in pain and anger. Like right on cue, Neymar's been there to roll around in pain and anger to try to get that foul. And so, of course, with them going out early, this has been a big thing. It's the Neymar challenge.
Is it sports or is it acting? Which one is it? Is you in acting class or in sports? I don't know.
Well, sometimes you get an award for acting, so.
You are correct, sir.
Oh man.
The Wizards.
The Washington. I'm done with them. I'm done. You go ahead.
Dwight?
Yes, I'm done. I don't get it.
They got a Dwight future. Do they?
That says it all. Let's just move.
Or is there a wall in the way? I don't know. Which one is it? Dwight Future or Wall?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't build the wall.
Yeah, well, you got to build around the wall, but is it going to be Dwight?
All right, enough with the puns.
Yeah, I know, puns.
No, I'm good with that. But we want to be sports friendly, not any type of political. That's for sure.
Yes.
All right. So every week we're going to do our picks. What Scott and I are going to do is we're going to do 3 picks. Plus we're going to do a pick again. We're picking underdog, and we're going to tally our points. So every week we'll have a running total. What we'll do is we'll do three months, which is a quarter. So at the end of every quarter we'll decide who's the king, and then after that we'll crown it. And I'm sure we'll have Amani make us a crown, and that'll be perfect.
Yes.
And then the king gets to wear that crown during this section when we do it until the new crown is.
Got some belts
king
too over here too.
We could definitely fight for some belts too. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I think Scottie, your pick is up first. Your first pick of the week is.
Let's go with France.
Really? Come on.
France.
No, it's
yes. I like French fries, so that's my pick.
All right, well then my number 3 is Belgium, because why not?
Hey, you want to battle?
I want to get the money.
You want waffles? I want fries. All right.
What if we get waffle fries? And what's that?
Oh, we both win.
Amen.
Right.
All right. So Scottie's number 2 pick for the week.
England.
Yes.
England is a powerhouse.
And guess what? You can put mine up there as well. Because honestly, if Scottie didn't pick England, I was going to pick England to win the cup. Because I feel like they're going to win this next game, and they're going to win the cup.
They're definitely a powerhouse.
And I feel like the reason why they're going to win it is they play with such swagger and have throughout this tournament, where it's like they're owning it to the point where I feel like they're the dominant team. Even with Brazil in it, I feel like England was playing better soccer than Brazil was. And obviously that's correct, because Brazil is no longer in it. So there you go.
In golf this weekend, I know it's kind of a crapshoot when you pick a golfer to win it all. So I picked 2. So I doubled my odds with Austin Cook and Zach Johnson. So I feel good about these guys. They're going to be all right this weekend. I think they could even be 1 and 2. How about that?
Hey, so here's the thing with golf. The way that we do it is if you pick 2 golfers and one of your golfers has to get in the top 3, to us we feel that's a win, because out of 40 players that make the cut or whatever, that depending on what it is, 40,
it's hard enough to make the cut.
Got to make the cut, and the win is so basically. Our thought is that you pick 2, get 1 in the top 3. Well, hey, that's a win in our book.
Yes, sir.
You can win money doing that. So.
Yep.
And then my pick is, yes, that's right. I'm picking the Angels to beat the Dodgers this coming Friday.
Oh, welcome to LA.
I feel like after this freeway series going back and forth or winning and losing, that the Angels are going to come off of, the Dodgers are going to come off of playing the Padres and be playing such bad baseball, because the Padres suck, that the Angels are going to come in there and take that first game in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
So I feel that's the way that's going to go. And now for our last pick, which actually is worth 2, is our underdog pick.
I'm going CFL on this one. And Ottawa's the home team. And they're -3. So they're getting disrespected at home. So I'm going with them versus Calgary.
You miss football?
Enough to pick Ottawa in the CFL.
Because that's my feelings, right? Like, what else do we have right now with football but the not the CFL, not to discount their, the professional ball players by all means, they're athletes, and again, we're on a couch. But yeah, we miss football that much that we are talking about the CFL. But hey, it's a sport like any other, so,
Absolutely.
So hey, right, more power to them. And so our underdog picks for the week. Oh, for mine, so I went with the hometown favorites, which, as you can tell from our backdrop, our hometown favorites is all Chicago. Well, the Sky are the underdogs at home against the best team. And so I feel like that truly is the underdog. I guess I'm picking them because it's a hometown thing. But they haven't played that well, so I feel like this is truly a stretch. And I will love to get those 2 points if I can get them.
Yep.
All right.
Good luck to you, sir.
So far, Scottie has no points for the quarter, and I have none because this is week 1.
It's getting very interesting.
It will, really quick, folks. All right, so now we want to just kind of go back over sports overall, make sure that we hit and talk about everything that we feel is relevant for the week. And so, Scottie, what do you feel is the most compelling thing about MLB as we move into the All-Star break this year?
Obviously, it's the trade deadline right now. Everybody talking about who's going where's going. You know, obviously Machado's the biggest name, and unfortunately, you know, our Cubs. Unfortunately or fortunately, it depends who we're going to get rid of to try and trade to get Machado, if that's a possibility. But
do you think that Theo would even go after him at this point?
I think it's a possibility, just because we're in the heat of it right now, and Machado's having an unbelievable year, and the Orioles aren't.
Right. I just feel with Renaplay that I feel like
it's hard to get rid of.
You know,
that's not Theo's.
Because Addison Russell has been the one that's been thrown out there the most, which makes the most sense,
yeah.
Right? You put Javi, you know, and you make it work with Javi and with Chris Bryant. You got some things you have to deal with too with Machado because he's a third baseman, so there's that hurdle.
Well, he says he wants to play shortstop. He'd rather stick at the shortstop position, even though his numbers at shortstop aren't even, you know, defensive-wise that great. Offensive-wise, he's through the roof.
Right. But I think that's where Theo really would look at him as not being a true asset, because in the playoffs, the difference between winning and losing can be a defensive play.
Absolutely.
You know, and you've got to be, and that's when A-Rod was talking about the other day, that you got to be defensively sound before you can even get into the playoffs. And if you're not that, when you're in there, it gets exposed right away, because again, it's like, it's World Cup soccer. It's the high level of the sport. You've got to be ready for that. So I feel pitching is more needed at this point for the Cubs.
Always. Pitching is always needed. That's a given. Are you going to trade Addison Russell for a pitcher, though?
Right. I mean, you're going to devalue what you have.
Yeah. Because, obviously, Javi can play short. That's his natural position.
Yeah, and you can put Zobrist at second all day long.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got most people in the outfield. You still have a platoon, but I feel at this point, if the Cubs are doing anything, they need to go for pitching with the way, I can't remember his name now, isn't pitching well. Chatwood's not pitching very well, and then Darvish is not pitching at all, right? You know, which, you know, if they can come back and then pitch to what we expect, that's great, but expectations and reality are two different things. You're trying to win, I feel like, but unfortunately, we don't have anything in our farm system to give up either at this point.
Yeah, because we kind of wheeled and dealed already a little bit
and got a ring for it, so you can't be upset about it, you know.
Yeah, I've always said, growing up as a Cubs fan, I don't care if it costs us $1 billion, do it to get us that championship. We got it, but it's nice to have that taste in our mouth, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I'd like them to keep trying, and I think Theo's in the right state of mind, and I'm glad we got him on our side, and I know he'll do the right thing, whether it's getting Machado or not. You know.
Definitely, I agree 100%. Mm-hmm. Man, all right. So the World Cup. So yeah, we've been talking about that a lot on the show. Obviously, it's a bit of a frenzy. I mean, I gotta give it a. And we're not sponsoring anybody, but I give it to Bud for the promotion. That if Mexico did beat Brazil, everybody gets free beer. I don't drink Bud Light, but if it was free, it would be a different story. And I got to hand it. It was compelling to watch that match, and to see those teams play one another. But the fact there was beer riding on it made it more fun to watch. In that, obviously, Brazil dominated Mexico, and then it really wasn't much of a game come the second half anyways. But it's still exciting. But overall, I think it's most exciting for me, and that's in general in sports, is when underdogs or people that haven't won in a while step to the front and are put in that position.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about the World Cup this year. It's sports in general, but the World Cup is happening.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a change of pace. You don't want to see Cleveland and Golden State 4 years straight. Or you don't want to see Buffalo Bills and Dallas Cowboys 4 years straight or whatever.
No, you don't, unless it's the fourth year is LeBron and he's carrying the team on his back and he plays unbelievable basketball. I enjoyed it for that, but I agree with Scottie that we're tired of it. It's time to move on.
Yeah, if a team deserves to be there, obviously they do deserve to be there if they are there. So I mean, we can't knock them for being there, but you know what I mean. It gets old.
Yes, it does real fast. As a sports fan, you want
unless it's your team,
That's true, right?
If the Bulls were there 18 years straight, I'd be like, oh wow.
Yeah, if these 4 teams and maybe even this one did something every once in a while, I wouldn't even care, right? But as a sports fan in general, it's always fun to see other teams that are. Like Cleveland, I'm excited for the Browns this year. I think they did a great job
revamping that team.
I mean, Manziel, let's see, right? Like, I wouldn't have picked him if I had that choice. I would
Mayfield,
not have.
you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You said Manziel.
Manziel.
I think they're trying to forget about that guy.
Same difference. Sorry, I feel that's funny. I said that because to me it's the same kind of pick in my mind. He just hasn't. Baker just haven't played yet. So
yeah, exactly. He hasn't proven you right.
Or wrong. And honestly, and I hope he does prove me wrong because I'm not hating on anybody and I want him to fail by any means.
I agree.
But I do think that Cleveland has got the most interesting squad next to the Rams in football coming up. That I want to watch football to see what they do, just for that, whether win or lose. So I'm excited for that. Definitely.
Well, anything football is always exciting. In my book.
Yes. Hey, so then our last topic, as we're rounding out sports, obviously we need to talk about it, which we did a little bit already, is NBA free agency. Scottie, who do you feel did the best job for right now for their team in the NBA? The win right now mentality, who do you feel did the best job with that?
Well, any team that can sign the greatest player in the game right now did the best job. And that's going to lead to my final thought, unfortunately, that I'm breaking into this right now. But I feel signing LeBron, I'm not a fan of LeBron by any means, but I respect the guy up and down the court. He's the man. The guy took a broken Cleveland team to the finals for the 4th year straight, to his own 8th year straight, and he came up short. But to sign a guy like that to a Laker team is the biggest free agent signing ever. I mean, NBA-wise, how do you, Magic Johnson should be doing backflips right now. He probably was.
Right, I would.
But to get a guy like that is unbelievable, and that's So I guess we switched to my final word right now already, and what got me was people saying that. All right, so the Lakers signed LeBron, and then not even, 20 hours later, the Golden State gets DeMarcus Cousins. And they say, Golden State is getting the best of LeBron again because they end up they're breaking the news of signing DeMarcus Cousins. And that's great. That's unbelievable. But comparing signing DeMarcus Cousins to signing LeBron James it's not a comparison, Great. You signed a guy that might hopefully be able to play in the playoffs. You signed the best player in the league. You signed a guy, you know what I mean? Like how is that upscaling? The Lakers hold the top spot right here, without a doubt. Signing LeBron James is, I don't even know how anybody could say signing DeMarcus Cousins upscaled LeBron. Granted, they got 4 All-Stars. Something's wrong with the league for having 4 All-Stars and then signing a 5th. But the guy is not going to play until the playoffs. If he's lucky, I'm hoping he plays. I'm hoping he's healthy, but it's not signing LeBron James. And that's my final word.
Excellent. All right, folks. So you can check us here every week. And if you want to get involved with all of our hilariousness, all of our, well, actually give some information, I guess. And of course, to see what the heck is going on in sports, you subscribe to our channel. We'll put all kinds of buttons down here.
SNM, it's not what you think.
That's right. It's not what you think, folks. So subscribe, like, share, click on those notifications. You know when the videos. We're doing this on a weekly basis. If you want to see what's going on with us on a daily basis, hit us up on Facebook, on Instagram, and definitely on Twitter. SNM Sportz on all of them.
Excuse me.
Of course. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and watch some sports. Interact.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Anything else?
Let's go!
And cut!
That was perfect.